Okay, I think we are live now. Just let me know if you are able to hear me and see me. Sorry about the delay. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. I think we are live now. Sorry about the delay. There was some issue with the streaming key and all. So we were slightly late in our stream. And for those who were waiting to join the stream, I hope you are able to see me now and hear me now clearly. Just let me know through the chat if the audio video is fine. Hi, everyone who has joined. Just drop in a hi. Just let me know if the audio video is fine. Yeah, I think it should be fine. But if you guys let me know. Hi, Diranshi. Hi, Vaibhav. Hi, all those who are joining. Just let me know if the audio is fine, if you can hear me clearly. If Hi, Shubham. Hi, all those who are joining in. Just let me know if the audio video is fine. You can hear me clearly. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay. So a lot of people have joined and are still joining. So one small request to all those who are joining, please like the stream. It helps us quite a bit in reaching more students. I know a lot of students have joined and were not able to see the stream for some time. But if you like the stream, it would help us reach more students. So guys, one small request from my side to please like the stream. In this stream, I'll try to answer as many questions you have, as many doubts you might have, I will try to answer. So good to see a lot of people have joined in. Hi Dhiranshi, hi Vaibhav, hi Shubham, hi, all good. Okay, hi Yash. Okay, so there are some doubts that are already coming in. I'll try to answer them. So Dhiranshi is saying that she has enrolled for the Nishchay batch and she's started her preparation with the batch schedule and live classes. But am I supposed to do CAT daily target because this is the first time preparing? See, if you're a repeater, CAT daily target is something that you can definitely start doing. If you're a beginner, it might be difficult for you to do for the first few months of your preparation. So for the first few months of your preparation, if you're not able to do CAT daily targets, it's fine. It's like a stretch goal. It's like a difficult goal, particularly if you're starting out, you might not be able to do it for the first couple of months. So till May, I would say that if you're not able to do daily target, that is fine. But after May, you should definitely start doing. This is if you're a beginner. If you're a CAT repeater, you should start doing daily target every single day without skipping at all. But if you're a beginner, your portion has not been completed, then you can wait till May and then start giving daily target. You'll have access to daily target till the end of the year. So you need not worry that, okay, if I miss daily target today, I will not be able to do it. You will have access to all of them if you're a CAT premium, Krakow's premium student. So don't worry if you're not able to do daily target now. Daily target is basically practice. For a lot of students, practice can only happen after they have learned the basics. So for a couple of months, if you're not able to do practice, that is fine. Practice becomes more important in the second half of your preparation. As you go closer to CAT, then practice is super important. Okay, so I hope I have answered your question, Dhiranshi. Hi, all those who have joined. Those who are joining in, one small request from my side: please like the stream. It helps us quite a bit in reaching more students. Hi, Shubham. Hi, Vaibhav. Ma'am, am I late for CAT 25? Not at all. I tell the bulk of the students actually start preparing for CAT around May and June. So you are actually, I would say, you are at the right time for CAT because this is when the serious students start preparing. This is when the good students start preparing. So some students start preparing January. I would say 10% start preparing in January, another 10% in February, March about 15%, and then like the major chunk of students start preparing only in like May and June, which I feel is, if it's your first time giving CAT, it might be slightly more difficult to do because you'll have to work for longer number of hours if you're starting in May. There are a lot of students who start in August also, and even then it is doable. You can crack CAT even starting in August or September. But the number of hours you have to work every day just goes on increasing. The further you actually start, the number of hours that you have to work every day go on increasing. Now that you have started your preparation in March, how many hours do you have to work to crack CAT? You will need to work somewhere around 2.5 hours every single day. If you had started your preparation in, say, December or January, you would need 2 hours every single day. That's the only difference. Half an hour extra you have to do just because you're starting in March. That's the only thing. But definitely, if you start in March also, you can definitely crack CAT. Hi Vaibhav. Hi Yash. Hi Kishore. Hi Jack. Hi ma'am. Is there enough time to crack CAT 2025 if I start now? Provided I'm weak in maths and I will start all the sections from beginning. Will I be able to complete the syllabus and revise in time? Yes, you will be able to complete the syllabus. Yes, you will be able to revise in time. You need to give in 2.5 hours to 3 hours every single day. So if you are looking for a structured way to prepare for CAT, I would say that try our Nishchay batch. The Nishchay batch starts today. See, if you are trying to crack CAT starting in March, what do you need to do? The first thing is you need some amount of syllabus coverage. So you need a schedule such that all the concept videos are done. So you need concept coverage, you need like the basic concept videos taught, then you need basic concept tests, that for each concept you need a test as such. After that you need a lot of practice, and for after like basic practice of topics of questions, you need mocks and sectionals. So if you start in March, if you are like doing this for the first time, you have no idea about CAT. For the first couple of months, what should you focus on? So if you I was your in your place right now, I was just starting, I was wondering whether it is enough time to crack CAT and all. First thing, it is definitely enough time. You need to give 3 hours every single day. What you need firstly is a like fixed schedule. Every single day you need to give 3 hours, so you need a 3 hour slot, 2.5 to 3 hour slot every single day. So either in the morning or in the evening, you should be able to give this time consistently. Secondly, you need a schedule. So if you are joining our batch, you will get, as part of our batch itself, you will get a daily schedule. So you will get like, okay, today you have to do this topic, tomorrow you have to do this topic. You will be told that every single day, the topic, the concept videos, everything will be given to you. If you join the Nishchay batch, by the way, the Nishchay batch starts today. If you join the Nishchay batch, everything will be given to you. But if you're not even joining it, what I would suggest is, whether you're a premium student of Krakow or not, you have access to our daily schedule. Like basically, the list and order of the order of topics is available publicly, so anybody can access it. You can download the PDF, download this PDF, print it out, put it up in front of you. Every day, go through the PDF, like go through the list of topics that you have to do. Finish learning the topics. So if I was starting in March, I would first start with arithmetic in Quant, reading comprehension, learning basic reading comprehension or developing a reading habit. And in LRDI, I would start with puzzles and arrangements, basic arrangements, learning how to solve Sudokus, learning how to solve basic Einstein's puzzles. This is where you start your preparation. This is the basic thing that you have to do. So in March, I would finish arithmetic. I would finish at least a few passages. I would finish at least 20 passages. Try to learn or read these passages. Try to read every single day for the month of March. And third thing is, I would try to solve some arrangements questions, some puzzles questions, some Einstein's puzzles questions, so that I get some habit of LRDI. This is where you start. And if you start and do this in March, you can then build on it in April. After that, in May, you can start taking topic tests, you can start taking basic mocks as such. In June, July, you can start taking mocks every other week, so that you get like a practice a lot of mocks. By September, your course should be completed, your like video should be completed, the syllabus should be completed. From September, you should go completely focused on solving questions, on practicing questions. So if you were starting your preparation now in March, if you give 3 hours consistently every single day from now till November, you can definitely crack that. And the first thing that you start with is arithmetic in Quant, in developing a reading habit in VARC, and third thing is solving basic questions like arrangements and puzzles in LRDI. Okay. Hi, Dhiranshi. Okay, I hope I have answered your question. Hi, Aditya. How to go ahead with live class along with recorded lectures on portal? So, Aditya, I know a lot of people actually are wondering of what to do, because there's so many things on Krakow's portal. So it is kind of overwhelming for some of the students. I'll tell you basically what you should do depending on how much time you have. See, we have students who have taken gap year, so they have 8 hours a day. So we also have like material. So if you have 8 hours a day, also you have enough material to practice every single day. But I'll tell you what is the bare minimum you should do. If you have any more time, what next you should do. If you have more time, what next you should do. So I'll tell you that way. So if you have joined the Nishchay batch, by the way, the Nishchay batch starts today. And if you're looking for a structured way to prepare for CAT, definitely take a look at the Nishchay batch. But if you're joining any of our batches, so I would say that how do you start your preparation? So the first thing that you need to start off with is the daily batch tasks. So daily batch tasks are what? They are your concept videos. So every day you will get the concept videos that you have to watch. Make sure that first priority is doing the batch task and doing the the concept test. This is the first priority, because at the end of the day, unless your syllabus is covered, unless your concepts are clear, you will not be able to answer the questions. So this is first priority. The second priority is the live classes. So a lot of students, if you actually start attending the live classes, you will realize that okay, we are having daily live classes. Every single day we take one concept, we teach you that concept, basics of that concept. And right now we are doing live classes of the very very simple type questions. So the format of Kraku's live classes is, we have 2 month rolling periods of live classes. Right now the first rolling period is almost ending. The next rolling period will start in around the I think next week of March as such. So this is like the last week of the first rolling period. So what is the rolling period? It's a 2 month window in which we try to cover the entire course, the easy part of the entire course. We have not gone in depth in the entire course, but the easy part of quant, easy part of arithmetic, easy part of algebra, easy part of geometry, all of the basics of all topics we have covered once. And we have done the very easy questions from this. Now, starting from 25th March or so, what we are going to do is we are going to cover easy to moderate of the same topic. So, if you have joined the Nishchay batch, right now you will see that okay, we are doing remainder theory, or we are doing some easier topics, but from number systems or from other topics as such. Again, from 25th March or so, we are going to start with arithmetic again, which will match again with what you're doing in your batch task. In batch task, you're doing arithmetic. From 25th March, your live classes also will be arithmetic. So the idea is that every 2 months, we go one level higher. So we started with very basic, very easy questions. From 25th March, we are going to start with easy, moderate questions. So we'll have questions which are not very, very basic, but just slightly one level above basic. The idea is that for every 2 months, we'll cover the entire syllabus, but at a slightly higher difficulty level. From the easy level to easy moderate to moderate to moderate hard to hard. So by the time November comes around, you will have gone through the syllabus multiple times and you would have solved questions of different difficulty levels, from the easy to the hard as such. So that is what the daily live classes are. The daily live classes are not really teaching you syllabus, it is doing the basic question solving, basic practice. So your first priority is daily batch task, second priority is your daily live classes. The third priority, for those who are repeaters, I would say the third priority is daily target. If you already know the basics, if you have done cat once, you should start solving the daily target, because you will be able to do it. If you're a cat beginner, you don't know how to solve the daily targets yet because it's at a moderate level, I would say go to the study room and start practicing. So that is basically how you should actually use your time. If you have 2.5 hours a day, just finish the daily concept tests, concept videos and concept tests plus live classes. If you have 3 hours a day, in addition to all of this, add daily target or study room depending on what your level of like ability is right now. If you're a beginner, start with study room. If you have a decent level, or if you already are a cat repeater, I'd say you can start with the daily target. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Okay. Um, Hi Vaibhav, ma'am, as a non-engineer, how can I improve my quant and DILR? This is my bad luck that I'm bad in all three sections. Vaibhav, I'll say this is something that I also somebody had asked for somebody who is weak in maths. What should you do if you are weak in maths, if you're weak in quant section? What should be your this? So I'll tell you one thing. I'll give you the example of a student that I remember even today, because she was so good at her job. Her job was basically, she used to like start solving. She started solving, I think, somewhere around February or so. She took access to her complete course, and she used to just religiously solve from the study room. And we didn't know that she was doing it, but every time she came across a question she couldn't solve, right, she used to look at the solution. If she didn't understand the solution, she used to ask doubts. So every day we would solve around 8 9 doubts of hers. 8 9 doubts every day used to come. And then we started noticing her that okay, she's going and taking so many tests every day. She ended up solving thousands of questions. She solved almost, I think, the entire quant study room. I still remember her name, Priyanshi or some Priyanshi was her name. She solved the entire study room, and she knew from day one that she was weak in quant, that she was weak in one subject. She said that I know I'm weak in this subject, so I'll do whatever it takes to actually get better. And she solved the entire study room. There is nothing like practice to get better at quant. So if you know already that you are weak in quant, the only advice that I'll give is make sure that you don't leave a question unsolved. Any question that you get, try to solve it. If you're not able to solve it, see the solution. If you're not able to understand the solution, ask doubts. Okay, how did you get this? How did you get that? Make sure you make every single question a learning opportunity. The more you solve, the better you're going to get at quant. And again, over here, there is nothing like weak in quant, strong in quant. There is somebody who has practice in quant and somebody who has no practice in quant. An engineer has some basic practice in quant. They are not smarter, they are not they are not more intelligent than you. They just have a basic idea of quant which you currently don't have. If you want to be at the same level or better, you're going to have to work towards getting to that practice level. If you practice every single day, within 2 months you will catch up. Within 4 months you would have advanced beyond most of the engineers of your batch. Okay, so I would say this to everybody who is actually a non-engineer. This is how you catch up. Practice, 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 solve crazy number of questions. You'll not only like catch up, you'll beat them at it. Okay, so good to see a lot of people have joined us. And one small request to all those who have joined us, please like the stream. It helps us quite a bit in reaching more students, so please like the stream. Okay. um okay, sorry. Hi, Derek. I know that you had joined the stream on this. We could see that this. Ma'am, I'm still planning to start my prep from May. I am working 9 to 5. How much time do I have to put in it? You will need 3.5 to 4 hours. But I'd say, Derek, if you have time now, start now. I'll tell you the reason for that, because it basically keeps on increasing. The more further you put off starting your CAT preparation, the amount of time required increases. So by May, it will become 3 hours to 3.5 hours. If you can start now, it would be much better, because then you can see, giving 3 hours, 3.5 hours consistently is difficult. A lot of students will start with a lot of enthu, but then it becomes difficult to give 3 hours and 3.5 hours. But giving 2 hours consistently, 2.5 hours consistently is much more doable. So if you can try to start at least something right now, try to start with arithmetic right now, try to do something right now, because that would help reduce the burden later on. Your future self will thank you that, okay, you didn't burden me with 3 hours of work every day. You just like, I have only 2 hours of work every day because you started a bit earlier. Okay. Hi, Karthikeyan. 2.5 hours inclusive of reading practices like newspaper reading. I'd say not including that. See, 1 hour is basically concept videos and concept tests. 1 hour is live class. That is 2 hours right there. Half an hour of some practice, either daily target or study room. If you're reading articles, I would say that read articles when you're doing something else. If you're traveling to work, if you're traveling back from work, that is when you should be reading articles, because that is like the extra time that you should develop a habit of reading articles out of interest. Like, you like reading, you should develop a love for reading. That is what you do in your free time. This is something that you have to do where you are like doing active work, active learning, which is your preparation time. But reading articles, you should basically look at it as a hobby that you do in your free time, and that is not included in this 2.5 hours. Sorry. Hi. Okay. Hi, Avik Mukherjee. Ma'am, almost 9 months is there. After seeing 8 months, fear creeps in. Isn't it more than 8 months left? Yeah, it is slightly more than 8 months left. But I would say that start your preparation now. See, there is a how much work is there? Okay, think of what is the work that has to be done, how much time it will take. So, what is the work that has to be there? See, syllabus wise, it is not very a lot. It's not that there's a lot of things to like study, a lot of things to read or learn, etc. Syllabus wise, it is very doable. Within a month, you can cover the syllabus. The issue with CAT is that you have to start practicing and solving questions, which takes a lot of time. If you want to have mastery in CAT, where you can like solve a lot of questions, it will take a lot of time, because you need to solve like thousands of questions. That is what will take time. So if you are somebody who is starting now, you can slowly build up the habit of solving questions, such that by the time like say September, October comes, you're already in a very good zone when it comes to solving questions. At least like some topics within each of the sections is like you're a master at it. So arithmetic, algebra is like done. Then you can say in September focus on only like getting very good at geometry, etc. The syllabus is not great, but practice, solving questions, all of that will take time, and it will take like not just time in a day. It's not like, okay, you sit for 1 hour, 2 hours in one day, you can't suddenly become very good at arithmetic. It takes consistent practice over like 1 month or 2 months to actually get good at something. Even with reading, it's like that. You can't suddenly become very good at reading comprehension in a day. You have to put consistent efforts for like 3 months before you see even some improvement in reading comprehension. So with that, you should realize that this is something which takes consistent efforts for an extended period of time. So the earlier you start, the earlier you will see results. Don't worry about, okay, there are 8 months left, there are 9 months left. Even if you have 4 months left, you can crack cat. The issue is that if you want to do really well in cat, the earlier you start, the better it is. If you want to do 99.7 plus, 99.8 plus, then you start here, you start now. If you, the further you start, the more difficult it is going to become. Okay. I have a profile of 68, 59, 7.3, non-engineer male. How much do you have to get for FMS or black eye? Blackie. Derek, I would say that the best way to actually answer this is if you take IAM's call predictor and percentile predictor, because for each of these we have actually, like, we have put in a lot of effort to like file RTIs, get information about weightage for each section, and we have put encoded all of that information in our call predictor. So it is very accurate in terms of how much weightage is given to each of these 10th, 12th scores, undergrad scores. For each category, what was the cutoff? We actually found out, okay, at at this particular cutoff, you got a call, at that you didn't as such. So we put in a lot of effort in the call predictor. I would say that use that. The just search for Kraku's percentile predictor or call predictor. You will get that link. Then you can know exactly how much percentile will be required for each of the calls. Do people with poor academics face difficulty in getting placed? Yes, but you have to, academics is one handicap. See, there are many, you have to think that when you're going for interviews, either the college MBA interviews or your like placement interviews also, you will have certain cards in your hands, and there'll be like some weak cards, some strong cards. Academics might be a weak card, but a good internship might be a strong card. Your CGPA might be a weak card, but a good like say cat score will be a very strong card. If your lack or gap year might be a weak card, but if you have very good extracurriculars, that will be a strong card. Everything will have strengths and weaknesses. You have to make sure that you make the most of your strengths. So when you're talking about your strengths, suppose you had a lot of positions of responsibility in your college, you should speak more about that, so that your the like the both the placement during your placement interviews as well as during your MBA interviews, they are able to understand why you didn't do so well in college. If you had a lot of PORs, if you were like the general secretary, they would understand, okay, that you were doing something else, which is why your academics suffered a bit. So there you have to basically make sure that your strengths outshine your weaknesses. But everybody will have weaknesses, not just you. Everybody has weaknesses when they go for placement interviews. When you enter into your MBA college, right, you will have this constant fear. When you look at everybody else's resume, you will also feel afraid that, okay, everybody has such good resume, I don't have a good resume. But everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses. No two resumes are the same. But it will, you have to basically make sure that whatever are your strengths, you make the best use of that. Okay. Okay. All those guys who are looking for a way to prepare for cat, please do check out our Nishchay batch. So we have put the details of the course in the chat box. So the Nishchay batch started today. The first thing that we cover in all of our batches is like cat overview, section wise overview. So if you're a complete beginner, you don't know anything about cat, you want to know how to actually start your preparation, do check out our Nishchay batch, because we start from the very basics, that what is cat, what is each of these section. We tell you exactly about all the exam first, then we go like topic wise, we cover all the concepts, all the concept videos, concept tests. We also have daily live classes. In addition to that, we also have one-on-one mentorship. So if you want somebody to help you understand the strategy to crack cat, how do you actually prepare, how you need like one-on-one guidance, for example, for cracking cat, do check out our Nishchay batch. We also have one-on-one mentorship. Okay. So hi Ronak, ma'am, I worked in MNC for 2 years and then currently at a startup where I get a salary in my bank but no salary slip. Will it be considered as work ex? Yes, but you would, there are other like indicators also. One is bank statement. then they must be cutting some tds, right? So you will have like the form 16 also, that is also an indicator of work experience. Then if you can get a letter from hr that you are employed for this period to this period, and it is important not just for your like interviews and getting the work ex points, but when you are actually sitting for the mba placement interviews, summer internship placements, then also you would need to actually get your work experience verified. So for that I would say that talk to your employer. You might not want to talk right now because you don't want to let them know that you have like your mba, you're preparing for your mba, etc. But it should be that you are able to at least like have that kind of relationship where you're asking for a letter of work experience and they are ready to do that, and they are ready to approve points of work experience. So make sure that you are on good terms with your employer so that they will approve at least that you worked there and this is the work that you did, not just for the interviews for but after the interviews also, it is very important. My background is humanities and my maths are very bad. How to improve? I would say, Shushmita, don't worry about it. See, if you're in a non engineering background, the fact is that for a lot of non engineers, it is difficult to crack CAT. If it is difficult to do well in the quant section, but correspondingly, the cutoffs are also lower for non engineers. So you need not worry that much that if you're a non engineer, can is CAT the right exam for you? CAT will basically it will compensate for the fact that you're a non-engineer by having lower reduced cutoffs as such. But I would say that you can definitely crack CAT even if you're weak in maths. If you practice every single day, if you solve a lot of questions, if you solve thousands of questions, you can not only like catch up with the engineers, you can beat them in maths. So I would say that don't think that okay. If you're from a humanities background or a commerce background or any kind of non-engineering background, it does not necessarily mean that quant will be a weak point, because a lot of students can actually catch up with practice. With daily practice you can definitely catch up when it comes to quant. See, remember, non-engineers, the engineers don't have any real advantage over you. The only advantage is that when your maths subject ended in 10th standard for like arts background people, or like say 12th standard for some people, for many of the engineers they had engineering maths for the first year and second year. That is the only additional thing. In second year also they were doing like functions, they were doing like logarithms, etc. So they had an extended exposure to maths. That's the only difference. It's not that they are better at maths, they have a more recent exposure to maths. So how do you actually cover up? You need to basically spend more time at maths, you need to spend more time at practicing questions. If you do that, you will get much better at maths, you will catch up, and in fact you will do better than them. Okay. Okay. Ma'am, I'm scoring 13 qa, 13 VRC, and 3 in LRDI, literally 3. What should I do? Divyanshu, don't worry. Firstly, be glad that you have 13 quant and 13 verbal. That's a fairly decent score. That is a very good starting point. I would say that keep practicing in QA and VARC. You have identified that LRDI is your weak point. Okay, so where do you start? How do you actually build from the very basic, very ground level of LRDI? So the first thing that I will say, tell you is that there are two kinds of skills in LRDI. One is the DI based skills. So that is reading charts, reading and understanding and calculating from tables. This is the DI based skills. So how do you actually get better at DI? Firstly, you should learn all the different types of charts that are there. Learn how to quickly read charts. So just practice reading charts, see all different types of charts, pie charts, line charts, bar charts, how to quickly read them and convert them into table. That is one type of skill that is required. Secondly is calculation, quick calculation on table based DI. So if a table of information is given and you are asked, okay, what is this value to this value, what is ratio of this to this, that you should be able to do. Third is table with missing values, which comes often in cat. So how do you get better with that? I would say if you are starting at the very base level, start by doing sudokus. If you actually start practicing sudokus, you get this idea that okay, there is some missing information here, I can backfill this information, I can find the missing information by looking at the column, by looking at the row, by looking at the different like clues that are there. So if you start with sudoku, if you have like absolutely no idea of table with missing values also, if you start with sudoku, then you will be able to start solving those kind of questions. How do you start with like LRs? Logical reasoning is like the second part, second skill. How do you start? If you are like starting from the very base level, how do you do LRDS? So there you have to start with simple puzzles. So simple puzzle would be simple Einstein's puzzles, like arrangement of 5 by 5. How do you do that? 5 by 5 are Einstein's puzzles, how do you solve? So if you do these kind of basic things like Sudoku, basic Einstein's puzzles, you will get at least some idea of how to start with the basic things. Try to do some puzzle games, like develop that basic skill as such. That skill will help you in LRDI. That skill will help you. Sudoku will help you in DI sets. So if you develop that basic skills, no, from there you can build by saying that okay, now I have some idea of how to do like Einstein's puzzle. I have some idea of how to do like tables. I can then build on that by starting and doing like say arrangements, linear arrangements. Then I can say that okay, I know linear arrangements. Now the next level will be circular arrangements. So do one by one. You can build on it slowly. You have enough time. So start with the basic skills. Once you're clear with those basic skills, add one topic at a time. Start in LRDI, start with puzzles and arrangements. They are very basic. They're foundational for the logical reasoning. And in DI, start with table based DIs and charts. If you can read charts, if you can do basic table based calculation, you will be able to solve one set in DI. And if you know arrangements and puzzles, you'll be able to solve one set in LRDI, LR part. So that's two sets out of LR, four sets in LRDI. Okay, what should be my target for all three sections? Divyanshu, this you can never answer because it changes a lot. If the cat is easy, then 103 might not be enough, 105 will not be enough. You might need like 120 to clear the cutoffs. But if the cat is difficult, even 70 might be enough. So that's how wide the possible range of safe cat scores is, from 70 to 120. So you can then say that okay, I can't target a score, I have to only target a percentile. So if the cat is difficult next year, the scores cutoffs everything will come down. If it is easy again next year, the scores cutoffs all will be high. So never index yourself to an absolute number. It depends entirely, that number entirely depends on the difficulty level. Cat 2024 was easy, Cat 2023 was very difficult. Cat 2023, the scores cutoffs were in 70s. Cat 2024, the scores cutoffs were above 110. So you can see there's a wide range. You can't actually say that, okay, I have to get this many marks in each of the section. It makes no sense. If Cat 2025 is again difficult, and if you go in thinking I have to get like 110 marks, you will end up not even getting 30 marks because you will go in with like wrong expectations. So do not index yourself to like, this is how much I have to get. I have to get this much, otherwise my attempt is waste. If you start thinking that way, no, you will actually not do well in cat. You should just respond to the paper that is in front of you. Do not have any expectations that this is the target marks. That is not what you should do. You should have a target percentile but not a target mark. Okay, we'll take a last few questions, but one small request from my side for all those who are watching the stream: please like the stream. It helps us reach more students. And if you're looking for a structured way to prepare for CAT, if you want to like make sure that you cover the entire syllabus, you get adequate practice for CAT, you like have very good mocks and sectionals, do check out our Nischay batch. So the Nischay batch started today. We will be covering CAT from the very basics. So if you're a non-engineer, if you have absolutely no idea about CAT also, you can start from the Nischay batch. Make sure that you cover the entire syllabus and get adequate practice. So do check it out. We are actually putting the link to it in the chat box. Hi, Sushmita is saying, ma'am, I have started solving maths from 6th class. My strategy is to make good command to just practice 6th to 12th math. Is it a good strategy, or should I directly start with a CAT question? See, if you're very weak in CAT and if you're not able to answer any question in Quant, I would say going a bit easier might be okay. But I would say start with like 8 standard maths maybe. 8 standard maths, arithmetic should be fine as a starting point. The idea is that anyway you have to go up to only 10 standard maths. 12 standard maths is not there. It's up to 10 standard only. So 8, 9, 10th, if you do, that should be enough. If you're doing the very basic questions, right, in arithmetic, if you get a good idea of profit and loss, if you get a good idea of ratios, proportions, that is also good. You basically have to slowly build strength. So if you start from easy questions, just because you have no idea about like many of these like maths questions as such, start with 8th standard, slowly build up to the 10th standard. You need to go only up to 10th standard. No, don't worry about like 11th, 12th. There all this differentiation, integration comes, that is not part of the syllabus at all. Just go up to 10th standard, that is enough. Okay. Okay, so Shripati is saying, ma'am, I've enrolled myself to GMAT Point. Can you please give me some tips to improve accuracy and speed in short time? So if you're preparing for GMAT, if this is about GMAT, I would say that if you're trying to improve accuracy and speed in a short time. See, for accuracy, you need to solve a lot of questions, and same is the case with speed. If you solve a lot of questions, if you have a lot of practice, then you do well. So I would say that you have access to GMAT Point, right? So you have an access to the study room. In GMAT Point, we have this question bank. I would say that if you're trying to improve your accuracy and attempt rate, just practice, go crazy on the study room, solve a lot of questions. We have a lot of quant questions. We have a lot of questions on CR, RC, everything. So start solving questions regularly every single day. Solve lots of questions. By the end of all of that practice, you will see that your attempt rate will also improve and your accuracy will also have improved. And best of luck if you're giving GMAT soon. Best of luck. Do let me know how your GMAT goes. I have 23 months of work experience. I'm planning to widen my knowledge in finance and business. So I thought I'd take a gap year for preparation and enhancing my knowledge in finance. Is this fine? Kishore, I would not recommend doing that. See, if you're working and you have 23 months of work experience, so that is fine. You don't max out on, you have some work experience, you'll get work experience points. You will not max out on the work experience in 23. I think the max level is 36 months of work experience. So 36 months of work experience will get you the full points that are there for work experience. But in general, if you have a gap year, it affects your chances slightly negatively, not a lot, but it slightly affects your chances of converting the calls. Secondly, it puts you in a very negative space mentally. If you have a job, if you have a regular schedule, and if you are able to work and prepare for CAT, then nothing like it. If your job does not let you prepare for CAT, it is a different thing. But if you can prepare for CAT along with your job, that is always so much better. The reason is that when you actually start preparing, if you take a gap year and you start sitting at home and preparing for any exam, whether it is CAT, UPSC, or anything, you not like you don't go out often, you don't meet people often. It affects you mentally, and it also has a negative impact on your exam preparation. So I never recommend people take a gap year because of the mental impact of taking a gap year, not because it is because it will affect the interviews. It will slightly affect the interviews, but it will affect your mental strength much more than the interviews as such. So for that reason, I would say that don't take a gap year. So I'll take one last question and we'll end further today. Okay. What should be the number of question one should target daily across three sections? I'm starting from April. I would say that if you are able to do the concept and concept test, so that's 5 questions already, plus do the live classes. So the live classes, we solve another 5, 6 questions. That is the bare minimum that you should do. In addition to that, if you can do the daily target, that would be ideal practice, because the daily target is 5 questions across the topic. So 15 questions. That is appropriate amount of practice for every single day, adding with the concept test plus the live classes. If you're able to do that consistently, that is enough practice. On the weekends, you should practice more from the study room. On the weekends, you should try to do mocks and sectionals. Starting April, our mocks will start. They'll be there every 2 weeks. So every weekend when the mock is there, you should take the mock, and every other weekend when there is no mock, you should practice questions from the study room. Particularly if you know you're weak in a particular section. There are many people who are saying that we are weak in quant, right? Whenever you get the time, whenever you have a free weekend, practice lots and lots of questions from the study room. One last question and we'll end for today. Okay, everyone is saying it is not easy. I don't know what you're saying, which one is not easy that you're saying. Okay, see, CAT is not easy. See, last year was easy, the year before that was not easy. But you have to just remember that you have to beat other guys who are also preparing for CAT. They are also human. It's not like you're preparing for a exam where you have to get 100% marks or anything like that. Here you have to basically hold your nerves, do your best on the exam day. So practice a lot of questions, practice solving a lot of questions, become very good at certain topics. So in quant, you should achieve mastery in arithmetic and one another topic, either algebra or geometry, plus a few topics from number systems or logarithms, etc. So you should have mastery on some topics. Reading comprehension, you should develop a reading habit. LRDI, there should be at least some type of sets that you should definitely know how to solve. So either it can be table based DIS, Venn diagrams, arrangements, puzzles, or games and tournaments. There should be some fields of like expertise mastery in each of the three sections. That would be enough for you to actually beat your peers. So you don't need to do 100% right in cat. So cat, there are like the you nobody expects you to solve all questions in cat. That is not even required most of the time. You need to solve, like say in quant, in an easy year you have to solve 13 14 questions. In a difficult cat year where the questions are difficult, you need to solve 7 8 questions. That's all that is required. 7 8 questions out of 22. That's very easy, right? Not very difficult. But you need to basically at least have that expertise mastery in certain topics to do that. So I would say that it's a difficult paper, but the ask is also accordingly. If it's a very difficult paper, you have to solve lesser number of questions. If it's an easy paper, you have to solve more number of questions. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm a gem with average ACADS. So everyone is saying that's not easy with the gem with average ACADS. It is not easy because the cutoffs are high. Having said that, the if you see the number of people who get placed every year in IIMs, you would see that many of the people who are placed in IIMs are actually general engineers and males. So with that, you know that a lot of people are going to get in with the same profile as you. So you have to basically aim that I am going to be one of those people who get in. Okay, so with that, we'll end today's stream. I know I've been able to try to solve as many questions as possible. In case I've not been able to solve your question, what I would suggest is put your question in the comments. We try to answer as many comments as possible. We try to get back to you through the comments. So if in case I missed your question, please put it in comments. And before I go off, do check out our Nishay batch. It started today. We'll be covering everything from basics, whether you're an engineer, whether you're a non-engineer, everything will be covered. There'll be daily like concept videos, daily live classes, one-on-one mentorship, and weekly revision. So everything will be covered, and we will go everything from very basic. We'll give you lots of practice, very good mocks and sectionals. So do check out our Nishchay batch. It starts today. So thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys soon.